fix this camera. All righty. Let's get our comments coming on. There we go. We are connected. All right. Oops. We got to... Oh, let me turn this. All right. I got to get my light source fixed. Bear with me a minute. Go figure that one out, huh? All right. Give me a minute. Move this back. All right. There we go. I think that's good. All right. Welcome, everyone. I am back. Once you come on board, please make sure that you let me know that you're here, if you don't mind, and where you're from. That would be great. I'm going to play with the camera for just a minute to make sure I've got everything. Yep. Okay, so it is 6:57, and I'm actually early. Yay for me. So I'm going to turn this just a little bit to get me a little bit more centered. Pardon me. I might have to turn it a lot. I don't know about that. Let me get my water. Okay, and I guess I need to get my chamois working. I'm a little out of sorts here. I'll be back in a minute because I need to wet my chamois. He is dry as a bone. Back in a second. Okay, I'm here. I just had to. Oh, hey, Karen, Joe, how are you? I forgot to soak my chamois, so I had to put it in the sink. So I'll have to get up in a minute. How are you doing? I'm back. Oh my goodness, I tell you, 3 weeks is too long to be gone. My dog was stressed out because we didn't have a ramp, and I was nervous she was going to jump off the bed at night, and oh my gosh. And then we were going out to dinner almost every night with family and friends, and it was a little stressful for her and me. So we've decided next time she's going to stay home with the dog sitter, or a dog sitter. So anyways, so how's everything with you? All right, hopefully my chamois, let me check my, oh, that's the other thing. Hang on a minute. I may check my other chamois. If not, I may just pull up a, actually, maybe I'll just put an ink pad thing over here. It might be easier. I'll be back in just a minute. I'm going to go see if that thing is softened up any. Hang on a minute. Still hard as a rock. No, I don't think that's going to work. I'm right here, Barbara. Okay. I think I'll just use one of my regular ink pad ink removers. Sorry about that. Okay. I know. She's fine. I don't know what I was thinking about that. She's fine. It was stressing me out probably. I mean, she was a little stressed because she doesn't like being left alone, and then we're in a strange place, you know. So it's fine. She was fine, and she, you know, as soon as we got back home, she was right back into, you know, using her ramp to get in the bed and all that other stuff. So it was okay, but we had a nice time. The wedding we went to was absolutely beautiful. Mom and Dad gave Emily away, so I thought that was very nice. So it was good. I didn't do any crafting the whole time we were gone, and that was driving me crazy. I didn't even think to bring like a paper pumpkin kit or anything like that. So, oh well. Anyways, did you see my video on the new join offer? I'll tell you what, I have never seen anything like that before. I was just shocked that they were discounting it. I thought for $65, what a bargain, you know. You can get $125 worth of product. I'm like, hello. So, anyways, I've been busy getting caught up. I think I'm pretty much caught up outside of getting our sketch done for the 14th for the creation anticipation. And I've already got the Northern Lights. That's ready for Thursday. And then I just got to work on the other one. So I know, can you believe it? No crafting. But we kept pretty busy, actually. We were on the go. My husband was playing golf with his brothers and all that stuff. So it was nice, but I'm just glad we're home. You know how that goes, right? So we're here until December, and then December we go to Key West for a week. So I'm looking forward to that. And next Tuesday we have a musical show down in Fort Myers at the Calahoochee, whatever it's called. So I'm gonna try to do a recorded video, but we'll see. We will see. I'll try to get that done so I don't leave y'all, you know, with nothing. So, anyways, so have you? Oh, are you familiar with Northern Lights in Alaska? When certain times of the year the lights are really beautiful. We've not seen them, but I've seen pictures of them. Beautiful, like greens and blues and, you know, different colors. So that's what we're gonna make. We will see how it goes. So, I mean, it's all blending is basically what I'm doing. So it probably won't take. It'll probably take, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, if that. But anyways, so that's what that is. So. Hello from Idaho. How are you? So anyways, oh, that's on your bucket list. All right. Yeah, we were in Alaska, but we never got the opportunity to see them. Though we almost bought a painting of them, but we decided not to. Anyways, it's fine. So, but it'd be fun to try to make something that looks like that. So that's what we're gonna do. It might take us a little extra time, but it's okay. So, alrighty. Well, I'm sure people are probably be slow coming on since I haven't been here in the last 3 weeks, but that's okay. We're gonna do 3 cards. I got all this stuff done, so I'm so excited about that. And I think that's about it. So we'll give it. I'll give it 1 more minute, and then we're going to go ahead and start. There might be stalkers or lurkers in. I shouldn't call them stalkers. There may be lurkers that don't let us know that they're there, but that's okay. So I'll just go ahead and get some stuff out to get myself prepared. And get these 2 things out. My dog's licking her feet, so I may have to yell at her in just a minute because she's going to drive me crazy when she does that. Riley, see, I don't have to yell at her. I have to just ignore the dog. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started because we got 3 cards to do, and it may not take that long. It may because I'll talk a lot, but 2 of these are new. One of them we've done before, but we're changing it up with the All About Autumn paper. Let me pull that out so I can show you guys. Hang on. Where did I do with it? Here it is. Hold on a second. I know you're looking at my head. Sorry. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down. Let me do my housekeeping, and then we'll get started. That way, that'll allow some others to pop in. Okay, so October, we have 46 projects by 45 other demonstrators outside of myself. Does that sound right? We can't hear Riley. I know you can't hear her, but I can. Oh, and I have to tell y'all, she's going to be in our magazine, November and December magazine. I'll have to show y'all when it comes out. I'm so excited. And it's a surprise. But anyways. Okay, so October we have my normal $50 purchase. And then you'll get 46 projects done by 45 other demonstrators, 46 counting myself. And there's a lot of, there's some trick-or-treat, the fall. We've got some Christmas ones in here, birthdays in here. I did the modern grid. I did that one. And we're going to be working with these abundantly, beautifully, abundantly, I don't know, whatever the masks are. We're going to work with those, I think, maybe next week. I'm not sure. But if you're on my newsletter, I showed a tutorial for that. And then also, if you're not on my newsletter, you need to be on it because tomorrow starts my 12 days of Christmas. And I have a link. If you go to, I'm not even sure where. Anyways, if you need the link to sign up, let me know because I'll start sending out every Wednesday. You'll get one tutorial, and it's the 12 weeks of Christmas. I'll do cards, some bags, gift tags, or gift boxes or whatever. So if you're already on my newsletter, that's already included, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay, and then of course we have the join special. So if you have not seen my video, I highly encourage you to go to my Shall We Stamp page. It also is in our VIP group, and I have it on YouTube. And sorry, I'm just adjusting my camera, but I see I have some shadows, so I may have to adjust this camera. Give me 1 second. Not the camera, the light. Hold on. Let me turn it a little bit because it's putting shadows. And that's not too bad. Okay. So the video, I went over all of the details on that. So and I'm sure you're seeing this from everybody, but in a nutshell, Stampin' Up! Is giving you 2 offers if you decide you want to join and get a discount, and this would run through March of next year. For normally the starter kit's $99, so if you take advantage of the 35% off, that gives you $125 in product for $64.25 plus sales tax. I mean, really, seriously, guys, you can't beat that. And then the other one, if you want 35% more, then you get $168.75 in product for $99. This is like a no-brainer. So if you have a somewhat large shopping list and things that you want to get, now would be the time to do it. And then you'll get a 20% discount from now until March. If you decide you want to place enough orders to qualify and then continue that, we can discuss that as well. If not, then at the end of March, you just go back and pay full price. That's really it in a nutshell. Okay, so now I'll flip the camera down. All right, so we're going to be using, oh my gosh, I have these little ants in here, and I apologize. One of my neighbors came over and put some stuff down. They're like little seams, no seams, I don't know, but they're driving me crazy. So I've got little juice things down all over, and they're even in the sink, but I've got things down that is drawing them to us, and I just saw one running across. But anyways, okay, so we're going to work with the autumn leaves, and I'm sure you all have seen this. I can't believe I haven't done any stamping in 3 weeks. I love this set. I just started using it today. Absolutely love it. It's 12 photopolymer stamps, and this was designed by Amy Coenders when she hit the $1 million sales. And then it also comes with 17 dies. Oh my gosh, and these are just really, really stunning. And I've got a card I'm doing for my class tomorrow for my Shell Point ladies, and I'll show it to you next week after we get that done. So that's what we're going to be using. We're not going to be doing really a lot of stamping. The only thing we're going to do as far as stamping is we're going to use this sentiment here, and then we're going to do some die cutting on one of the cards. So I'm going to set this off to the side for just a minute. And then we're using this beautiful paper. Oh my gosh, you guys, isn't this, I know you all have seen this, but this is just absolutely stunning paper. I mean, it's just really, really beautiful. And it's 48 sheets and they're 6x6, okay? Now, so what we're going to do, let me put this back in here so I don't lose it. Hang on a second. Let me get my paper in the way, in the thing. All right, we're going to put it over here out of the way. Okay, so this is the sheet that I'm starting with. And this is just to show you, and then I'll show you the card that we're going to make. So what I did was I cut this paper down to 4 inches by 5 and 5¼ okay? And then I took the stylish shape frames and I used the circles, and I took the 3rd and the 4th circles and I ran it through the die cutting machine, and pretend this is cut off, right? So I cut these, I layered these on here like this, and I cut them out. And so by doing that, this is what the piece of the designer paper is going to look like, okay? And let me put my little circles back so I don't lose them. Let me put them right here. All right, and then this is the card. This is what we're going to make right there. Isn't that gorgeous? And the paper is doing all the work. We're not, you know, it's all about the paper, right? So we're using Cajun Craze, and it's 8.5 by 5.5. And then of course, we're going to cut the paper. So I cut a strip off from the paper that I cut to put on the inside of the card. And then the part that we cut out, the circle, we actually are going to place it on. So all we're doing is going to lay the paper on the front of the cardstock, pop this up on dimensionals, add some of the copper ribbon, and I cut out 2 of the banners that come in the set. And this sentiment comes from the inked and tile stamp set. And I'm going to show you, because the stamp that we're going to use that says hello friend, we're going to use our Stampin' Write marker to do the coloring. I'm telling you, these are just and look how easy this is. So you could whip these things out in like no time, right? Other than you've got to cut the paper, but after that, it's like a no-brainer. So this is what we're going to make. So let me pull in my paper, and actually oops. And then here is, I already stamped the daggone thing. Look at that. I didn't realize I did that, but I'll show you how to do it anyways. I wanted to show, hang on a second. I thought oh well, that's okay. Okay, so there's our envelope. We're going to set that off to the side. I'll put it over here. All right. I didn't realize that I stamped everything. That was crazy. But I'm going to show you how we do that anyways, in case somebody is new and they don't realize what you can do with your markers. I'm just going to grab a sheet of paper so I can do that when we get ready. Okay, Cajun Craze, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Fold it over, and we're going to go ahead and burnish it. Let me get my bone folder out. I've actually got my office somewhat organized. I can't believe it either. I've been trying to keep it clean. You know how that goes. All right. So now all we're going to do is we're going to place this, and you can use any of that beautiful paper and do this. So we're just going to glue this down. Let me make sure that let me make sure I got glue in here. I've been putting glue into little tiny bottles for my ladies tomorrow at the class, because it just makes it, hang on, I may have to go get one. I know there's glue in here, but it hasn't been used. Hang on. All right, let me grab one. Hold on a second. Hang on, I'm gonna switch it out. I'll switch it out with mine, since I have 2 desks. Okay, so I'm just gonna add my adhesive to the back. And look how pretty this back of this paper, this has kind of got like a green tint to it. Really pretty. And I'm just gonna do a little bit around there. All right, so we'll put this back over here. And then we're going to lay this down. So just remember, and you can really do this with any type of paper that's got, you know, a nice design that you can kind of do in like a spotlight, if you will. So we're going to put that right there. Now this, I'm going to keep, because I might be able to use this for something, I don't know. But see, I've got the back side, so I could use that for something in another card. All right, so that one I'm just going to set aside and save that for later. Oops, I just threw it on the floor. Okay, now we're going to take our leaf that we cut out, and we're going to add some dimensionals to this, and we're just going to pop that right in that circle where it's going to give us the look that it's sitting by itself, but it's popped up, and it's just such a beautiful, I just love, oh, I don't even have my trash can over here, do I? It's really going to be, now you can, that's how it was cut, so we can put it like that if we want to kind of simulate how it should have looked before we chopped it off. So I'm just going to put that right there with, I put 2 dimensionals on the back of that. And, oh, you know what? I don't have a piece of white for my inside. Actually, I think I'm going to put Very Vanilla on the inside. Let me see if I've got a piece cut. Hang on a minute. Let me find it. I'm trying to look in my little stash right here. I've got one, but we may have to cut that down. Do I want Very Vanilla? Or should I do white? Let's see. What's the decisions? I think the Very Vanilla would look nice. We will have to trim that down. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to take our seal, and we're going to take this copper. This is the copper ribbon. I think this is still I don't know if this is still available or not. I know it's been on back order, or not back order, but out of stock for a while. It comes with the natural ribbon as well. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to kind of do a loop-de-doopy thing. So I'm just going to try to measure how much I think I need. And then if I have too much, I'm going to cut it right here. And then I saw somebody do this, and I thought this was very clever. Because every time I try to do these little zigzag things, I can never get it to hold my tape. And now I see why. So what they did is they used their seal, and based on where you want your ribbon, I'm just going to put a couple little strips right here, so that way my ribbon will hold on to it. So isn't that easy? Who would have thought? All right, and then I'm just going to take and lay my ribbon down, and I'll cut it to get it at an angle. So I'm just going to do that, and then bring this one up. And most of this is going to be hidden underneath our little tag, so it should look fine. All right, so let's, I'm going to move this over just a little bit more, and I'm going to trim that one up. So then what we'll do is we'll add that right there, and I think that'll be fine. So let me go ahead and trim this piece right here off. I didn't want to trim it until I knew where I was going to place it, and then we'll put this one right about there. All right, so there's that. Now, when you have a stamp and you don't want to use, like this one, right? So it says, hello, friend. All right, so what I want to do is I only want the hello part to show. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Right marker, and you've got the fat tip, and then you have the pencil type tip. We're going to use the fat one. Now I could, you could put a piece of paper to cover the word friend and put it in the ink pad and then pull it up and then take that off like a sticky note on here. But to make it easier, you can just take your Stampin' Right marker and just go in here and color the words that you want to highlight, and then you would just stamp it on whatever you want, and then there you go, you just get the word hello. So that's just another tip for today of what you can do, which you probably already know that, but in case we have new people on here, I just want to show that, and that's how you can do that. All right, so then I am going to attach this to my banner, and both of these banners come from the same stamp, from the dies. So I'm just going to glue this down here, and then we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. So we're going to pull these little bad boys out. I think I'll put 3 on here, and because you just want to have them balanced, right? Oops, I think nope, actually I think I'm just going to do 2. I think my little word just, yep, it did, it shifted. I moved him before he dried. Hang on. Okay. All right, so then we're going to take that. Isn't this simple? I mean, this is really such an easy card. And it makes such a statement, I think. All right, so we're going to place that right there. And then I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. As soon as I move all this stuff off of it. I wasn't thinking I was going to use it, but I am. I'm going to cut this piece of Very Vanilla down. I'm going to cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. So we'll just, whoopsie, we'll just cut that down to 5 1/4. And we're going to put this on the inside, and we're going to add a little strip of that paper since we had some extra cut off, right? So I'm just going to take and grab my, oh, where's my craft mat? Hang on a second. I got one laying around here somewhere. Here it is. I'm going to grab my craft mat, and we're going to put some glue. Now, what I typically do is I just put glue on the whole thing, and then I just cut, because I want to make sure I get it on there, and there's enough. So I just put it on the whole, let me do that so I don't get it on here. I just lay it, I'm going to put it on the side, and I'm trying to decide which way. I just do it like this. So I just line it up on the edge, and then I just cut off any excess that's hanging over. That way I know I've got enough and I don't cut it short. You know, it's just easier, I think, to do it this way. That way you know you've got it cut right, and you don't have to worry about it being a little tiny short. You know, sometimes that happens. And then we'll just go ahead and add our adhesive. And we're going to put this on the inside of our card. And you can stamp something on the inside. And you know, as I said, for me, I don't put anything on it until I'm ready to send it. And then I'll use whatever sentiment I need to make it more special for that person. All right. And then you can decorate the envelope, which we're going to do on the next one. So there's that card. Isn't that really easy to do? Isn't that gorgeous? I just love this. I just love the card. All right, hang on a minute. My camera, hold on one second. I'm going to shift the things a little bit. There we go. All right, so that's the first card that we're going to do. So we're going to set them off to the side. I'm going to put them right up there. Now, the next card we're going to do, we made one of these, I want to say a couple weeks. Well, obviously, it's been more than a couple weeks because I've been gone for 3. So we made this probably a month ago. And it is, let me bring that one in. We're going to do pecan. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Hold up. I forgot my, put my doodads on here. Hang on. I forgot. We're going to add some of the in color dots. I completely forgot. And we are going to put some of the, even though this is Cajun, I'm going to use this color here, which is copper, I think. I'm just going to put 2 of these on this, on the, where the hello is. So I'm just going to put one there, and then I'll just put a medium size. I completely forgot it. I almost kept going. We'll just add one right there. There, now it dressed up. All right, so isn't that pretty? I just love this. Oh, I miss stamping. I missed it so much. Okay, now we're going to make our next card, which is one that we've done before, but we're still using the same paper. A different sheet, though, of that thing, of that package. So give me just one second. All right, so here we're going to decorate the front of our card, the back of our envelope, and we're going to do this one. Now look at the paper. The paper is doing the work, and we're just going to cut these. I think these are a little bit too big, so I'm going to cut them down. I was following somebody else's pattern, and I really don't like them that thick. I think it's okay, but I think I like them smaller. What do y'all think? Do you like them smaller or that size? I think this is 3/4 of an inch. It is. And I think a 1/2 inch or, and I think when we did it, I think it might have been like 1/4 or 3 inch. But anyways, I think that's kind of big, but that's okay. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to decorate with what we chop off and do our envelope. Another easy, beautiful card, right? Okay, so we're going to set that up over there. Now, we do need to bring in our paper trimmer because we do need to trim this down. I think so, too. I think the smaller is much easier. I'm not sure why, but anyways. Okay, so I'll trim them down to, I think I'll trim them down to at least a 1/2 inch. All right, so this is going to be, our cardstock is pecan pie, and so are the strips. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to want to, and I'll score this, fold that in just a minute. So we want our paper to be cut at 4 inches. So we're going to put that at 4 and cut this down. And then we've got this nice big piece that we can use for something else, right? And then we're going to cut this down because this is 6 inches. So we're going to cut this down to 5 1/4, and that's the piece that I used to put on the bottom of the card. So look at that. So we're going to use those 2 pieces. And then this piece, you can put this on, make another card just with that by itself. All right? So we're going to put this aside. We don't need that piece right now, so I'll put him back in the pile. And let's go ahead. I'm going to bring these in, and I'm going to trim. Yeah, these are at 3/4. I think I'm going to make these. Let's do a 1/2 inch and see what that looks like. I'm thinking that might be fine, but let me see if I can get this. I may have to take this down. Hang on a second. Let's see. All right, we're going to get it at a 1/2 inch. That way we know. All right, let's just put it. I probably should do one of those things where you, let me get it in here. Let me see if I can do it first without it moving on me. All right, we're going to hold this and try. Oh, there we go. We won't need that. Okay, so we're going to cut it down. I think that's probably going to look a little bit better than that. Yeah, I think that's going to look a lot better. So we're going to go with a 1/2 inch, okay? So let me trim the rest of these off real quick. After I did that, I thought, I don't know if I like that. So I'm just going to hold that in place and trim these. And, you know, you can always use these little pieces. It's a 1/4 inch. So if you needed these for something, you could use that. But I don't think we will. All right, so we're just going to do another half. Just bear with me a second. I feel much better by doing it this way. And then we'll cut one more. So you're going to have 4 of these at, do a 1/2 inch, or you could even do 3/8 of an inch if you want a little bit smaller than that. I think a quarter might be a little too small. So we'll just do a 1/2 inch. So let me move my little strips over here out of the way. All right, and move all of this out of the way. And I think we're good with that for now. Okie doke. So, all right, pecan pie. And we're, excuse me, we're going to burnish this with our bone folder on both sides so it lays flat. And then we're going to take our beautiful paper. And look at that. You could just do it like that and throw some ribbon behind it. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Some really easy card making. And these would make great thinking of you cards or a get well card, or, you know, actually it could even be a birthday card if you wanted. All right, so we're going to add the adhesive. Okay. And we're going to place that right down there. I think I cut that one a little bit shorter. It looks like it's a little bit shorter, but that's okay. Nobody knows. All right, and then what we're going to do, I should have a little, please tell me I put it in here. I did, thank goodness. All right, you need a 2x2 square is what we're going to use. And then what I'm going to do is, welcome everyone, is I'm just going to hold this here, and because we're going to stamp it, I'm just going to hold it here and try to make sure I've got a similar width between each side, and I think I do. So I'm just going to lay that there for a second, and then I want to get my first, I'm just going to start laying down my strips. And I really do think, I still think that's too big, but we're going to go with this one. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this here. I'm going to add my adhesive. Now I'm going to use my, you can do the seal, but I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue because I want to be able to move this as we need it, right? So this one, we're not going to use it all the way. So I'm going to hold this. Actually, I'm going to turn my card so we can make sure we got this at an angle. All right, I'm going to start. Let me make sure I've got it sideways. All right, let's go like that. Whoops, hang on. All right, so I'm going to lay this right here, and I'm going to butt it up. If I quit moving everything. Okay, and I'm going to let that sit. I'm going to, you know what? I'm making this harder than it is, aren't I? Okay, I'm going to turn the card because I want to get this. All right, I think I got that right. Let me look at it. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so I'm going to lay this starting at that corner on the right-hand side. And you can start wherever you want. All right, and then I'm just going to push this down and make sure that it sticks right there. And then I'm going to trim that off, okay? Now we'll do the same thing on the next piece. And the reason I'm keeping that there, because we're going to stamp it and pop it up on dimensionals, okay? All right, so we're going to do the same thing here. So I've got this butted up to the paper. And then this one, we're going to come over. Let me think about this. No, hang on. We're not going to do that one yet. We're going to come down to here. We're going to do this one right here. So he's going to go right about there. Now, I'm going to cut this because I have glue on the back of this one. So let me cut that off, and I'll go ahead and cut the other one off, and then we'll add the next two pieces. So I'm just going to trim that. And then I'm going to trim this piece right here as well, okay? All right, so we've got those trimmed. Move these out of the way. Okay, and then let me get my little thing back in there. Now, when we did this before, we glued this down, right? So we've got our triangle because that's how we want it. I'm going to get this guy backed up there, okay? He's even with that. Now I can put my piece right here, and that's going to go from one edge to the other. So we'll go ahead and add some adhesive to this. And this one, we won't need to use the whole piece. We'll probably only need to use some of it. Let me put some on the side because I think we want to make sure that it sticks. So now this one, we're going to place this right here and butt it up against that one and then lay it here. It's all butted up, and let those sit down for a second and let it adhere. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. And then this one is going to run from here to the edge of the card, okay? So we'll do the same thing. And I know that we did this a couple weeks ago. And this is a nice card too. This is a fun card. Now I'm going to close my card because I don't want to get glue on the back side. So let me get my thing right there. And then we're just going to butt it right here. I mean, really, when you look at this, it looks like it's a lot harder than it is. But this is really an easy card to make as well, you know. You could whip these out in no time, too. This would be cute for, you know, if you use holiday paper. You can make a nice holiday card with this, too. All right, so let's just trim these off. And then I'll go back and add a little bit more adhesive if I need to make sure they're all glued down right, okay? So let me do that. Move that over there. All right. I know I need a Post-it note. You're right. Okay, so we're going to pull this out because now we're going to stamp our sentiment on it, and then we'll and I'm going to push these down a little bit more just to make sure we've got them all in place, right? Make sure I don't have any glue on that. Okay. All right, now we're going to stamp our sentiment. Now, this sentiment we are using from the stamp set. Actually, what did I do? Oh, you know what? Hang on. I brought everything else out but that one. Let me just make sure it's not else. I thought I had it sitting here. All right, hang on a minute. I've got it in the box. Hold on. Go figure. Nothing changes with me, does it? I've got it. Hang on. I'm trying to get it out of the box. I have it all set up for tomorrow. Yep, it's in the box for tomorrow. Wasn't thinking. Guess I have to share, don't I? All right, so again, we're going to use our pecan or pecan, however you want to say it, pie ink. And remember, when you stamp this, you want to stamp it because it's going to be on the angle. So you always want to make sure you've got it right on the angle. And make sure that we've got it straight. And I'm not that particular because you know me. And we're just going to stamp it right about like that. Okay. All right. And close that up. This is really nice. I should do this more often instead of using my mat. All right. So now we're good with this one. Now this one we're going to place on dimensionals. And I think I'm going to put 4 because it's going to be sitting. We want to make sure that it sits evenly. So I'm going to put 4 on here. On the back. It's probably overkill, but why not, right? We have dimensionals. We might as well use them. So let's get these off of here. And then we'll be almost done with this card. All right, so we're going to place that right in here. We're going to pop that up. Now, we are going to put some embellishments on the top of that. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to complete the inside of our card, and then we'll finish the outside. All right, so I have a piece of Very Vanilla, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and that little piece that we cut off is going to fit perfectly right here. So we'll go ahead and add this to the bottom of our card on the piece on the inside. So we're going to dress that up. And we'll place that right down here. And that was part of the ground at the bottom of that piece of designer paper. So we'll get that right on there. Push it down. All right, there we go. And again, I'm not going to stamp anything, but that, you know, it's your card, so you do what you want. When you make your cards, you can stamp your sentiments to save you time, but again, I like to wait. So we're going to add that right there. And this is really a pretty card. We get all the funky dunky off of it. All right, so there's that, all nice and pretty. Now we're going to take those in color dots again. And I'm going to use the yellow ones, these right here, just because they tend, I think it goes good with the, like the sun in the background. So I'm going to put one of the larger, I'm going to put one yellow one, and I'm going to do just like I did the other one. And then I'm going to put a couple of these right here. And I know this is the copper clay, but it still has some red, it looks like right here in the background. So I'm just going to put one there, and we've got this little tiny one, and we'll just move him, we'll just put him right about there, and get that off there. All right, so there, And then the last thing we're going to do on this one is we are going to decorate our envelope. So I cut a piece of the paper. That's the piece we cut off, right? I always cut mine at 2 3/8. It just gives me just enough without a lot of waste. And I'm going to put this side on the back for the envelope. And I'm going to use my tearing tape. So let's go ahead and we're just going to run all around the edges of the envelope. And then right up against that crease or the fold, because we want to make sure that it catches there. All right, and we're going to have a little bit of a gap there, but that's all right. All right, and then we're going to push this down. I'm going to line it up, and see I've got just enough to go off both ends, so it's going to fit. And we're going to butt that right up to the fold. All right, and then we'll just cut this off, and we'll be good to go. So we're going to cut this around. So we haven't wasted, I mean, we actually used the entire piece of 6 by 6 outside of what I'm cutting off right here. So that's pretty good. I'm trying to get closer to the envelope. There we go. And then when you mail this, your recipient's going to be so thrilled, especially when they see such a beautiful envelope, right? How many people send decorated envelopes? Not too many unless they're crafters, I think, for the most part. Hang on, let me miss a little spot right there. All right, so there is our card. Move my stuff over there. Isn't that beautiful? So there we go with that. Isn't that cute? All right, so the square is 2 by 2. These are cut at 1/2 inch, and again, I think they could go smaller. I think I like them smaller. And the designer paper is your standard 4 by 5 1/4. And then open it up, and there we go with the inside. And I've got a piece of glue there, so guess what? We're going to pull out where is our eraser? Well, I'll get it later. Okay, so there's that card. What do you think about that? Isn't that cute? I know, it's great. Yes, you're exactly right. It's great for leftover strips. Okay, so now we're done with that, and good, we got good time here. All right, the next card is where we're using the dies from the dies that come with the autumn leaves. And I've already got everything cut out, so I'm just going to be doing some blending and putting everything to, oh, you know what, oh no, I did do it. Okay, so here's the card. Isn't that beautiful? Pretty. All right, so we're using basic white. No, is this vanilla? I think it's, oh, I got a piece in there. What was that? Where did he come from? I got a surprise in there. Hang on a minute, because I'm really, the lighting in here is horrible. I think this, oh, is that white? Yeah, this is white. I'm so sorry. The lighting in here tonight is just terrible. All right, but isn't that gorgeous? I just love this card. And this, it's really easy. It's just, you know, you've got some, a little bit of cutting to do, but it's really not that much. You can't knock it out. So, all right. I think it is, I swear to God, I think it's, no, this must be white. I'm assuming that it's white. Let me hold a piece of Very Vanilla. Let me see. It might be Very Vanilla. Oh, it's Very Vanilla. I'm sorry. I told you my eyesight. All right, so I went ahead and cut everything out from our dies. All right, so we've got our 8.5 by, I don't know why that's there, so we're not, he's in the way. All right, so we've got 8.5 by 5.5 Very Vanilla cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and fold that and burnish it. And then, hang on, I'm going to flip it the other way because it's not quite evened up. There we go. I just love this set, and I love the leaves and everything. I mean, 17 dies. I'm just so glad that I bought this set, and I ordered it, and it came in, of course, while I was gone. So I had to start using it. All right. And then we're going to use a piece of Early Espresso, and that's going to be the 4 by 5 1/4. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that down, and then we're going to work with our piece of Very Vanilla, and that is 3 3/4 by 5, and we ran it through, or I ran it through the exposed brick embossing folder. And I'll show you that in just a second. Let me just get this on here. I think, no, actually, I think this is, yeah, it's 4 by 5. Yeah, it's 4. Yeah, 4 by 5 1/4. For some reason, it was looking a little different. Okay, so we got that on there. All right, we'll put him off to the side for just a momento, okay? Now, this is the embossed piece, and this is 3 and actually it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So I just got it to where we just have a smaller border on the early espresso, okay? We're going to keep this and we're going to build our flowers. I had to stop and think for a minute. I'm telling you. All right, so what I'm going to do is we've got our flowers, and the first thing I'm going to do is we got to add some ribbon. So these are some of these are like the leaves that you can do. You've got different maples, little maple flowers. I'm not sure what this is, but this is a leaf we did, and I'll tell you the colors. Granny apple green, pumpkin pie, real red, copper clay, if I'm not mistaken, and daffodil delight. And then I am going to use our copper ribbon, and we're gonna line up 3 strips at the back. And so what I want to do, let me get this off my fingers, is I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the bottom. I guess it really doesn't matter because you can't tell when you're looking at it. But I love this thing. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive at the bottom. So when I start wrapping these around, I can get one side to stick. And then we'll have enough to hold it until we get to the top. And I'll tell you how much I'm measuring. I'm just leaving, you know, I'm not going to leave a whole lot. So I'm just going to measure. Let me get my scissors. All right, so we're going to measure, that's probably good right about there. So this is going to be probably about 7 inches if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what we did. Yeah, it's about 7 inches, okay? So 7 inches of the copper ribbon or whatever ribbon that you want to use. That's going to coordinate with your set. Oh, shoot, what did I do? I put it on the wrong side. All right, hang on a minute because I want this to go on the right. So let me put some adhesive right there. Okay. So I am going to lay this on here, and I'm going to start it about 1/2 inch from the side. And I'm not measuring. I'm just going to kind of guess, right? It may not be quite 1/2 inch, but I want to get it to where I can push this. I want to get this side down, and then I'll decide once I've got it and I get it straight, then I'll go ahead and glue that down. So I think I'll do that. So let me go ahead and put some adhesive here. And then we'll go ahead and pop that one down. And I just want to make sure it's straight. So that's why you want to you have to fiddle with it, right? You fiddle and it doesn't go straight. So let's lay it this way. And we don't want it to come up, so let's come down. I think that's probably a straight, it's ribbon, so it's going to do a little bit of bending. So let's just go with that. All right, we're going to go with that. And then the next 2 pieces, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to, we'll go ahead and cut them at 7 inches. And then we're going to just lay them right next to each other, but we're going to put them a little bit tighter. So we'll cut that one, and then we'll cut this one. I may trim off a little bit. And that's going to go right about, let's go right about there. Okay. All right, so then we'll come in. And this one, I want to come in a little bit closer. I don't want to have, whoops, I don't want to have a major gap between. So I'm just going to put them a little bit closer. Well, if I put my fingers, put it on the glue, that would help, wouldn't it? Aren't you glad I'm back? All right, so we're going to lay that down, and I'll get these a little bit closer. I think that looks good, and that's a little bit excessive on the ribbon, so I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to flop that over and tuck it under, and that's going to glue it down. Well, you think it would, right? All right, so let's try and see if that works. I think that looks pretty good. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. We'll go ahead and, you know, it probably helps if I try to straighten it out some. We'll do the same thing. I'm going to try to get it as close to that one so we're not taking up a lot of space. I think that looks good, so we'll pop that one down there. And I got ones coming up. And we'll pop this one here. Let's see what that looks like. And then I'm going to go down and push these down again. I think that looks good. So I'm going to trim this off just a little bit. I think that looks fine. All right, and this guy here is wanting to move. So let's tighten him up just a tad. Okay, I think that looks good. So we're gonna leave those guys about like that. What do you think? This one looks a little funky, doesn't he? This one looks like he's going, and I'm normally not that particular, but that's kind of bothering me. So we're gonna put him like that. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, now we're gonna start building our flowers. But the first thing we need to do, we've got to do some blending. So I've got all my blending brushes. We're gonna move all this stuff out of the way. And I'm using, okay, so for the Real Red, I'm gonna use Cherry Cobbler. All right, so Real Red's gonna go with Cherry Cobbler. That's gonna help to accent the reds, okay? So we're gonna put that there. And then one of these, we're gonna do Old Olive. So we'll put Old Olive on that big one. And then we'll do green, garden green on the leaves here. And then we're gonna use Cajun Crazed offset for the pumpkin. So it's gonna give it some depth. And then, why do I have early espresso? Why did I bring that out here? Oh, from ink. Oh, and then I need crushed curry. Where's my crushed curry? Hang on. Where's crushed curry? Oh, I put him back. Hang on a minute. Let me grab that too. He's in the wrong pile. He's in the pile for the Northern Lights. All right, and then daffodil will go with our crushed curry. Okay, so I'm just going to do some quick blending. So we got our yellow one here. Let me just move this out of the way. Oh, and then this one we need our copper clay. Hang on, is that what I said? Yes, copper clay. Hang on. Riley, you got to move out of my way, girl. Where's copper? Oh, copper's in my thing too. See what happens when you plan for a class? You try to get organized. I wanted to have everything ready, and I'm stealing stuff from tonight. So, all right. So let's do, it's not going to take much on this one, actually, because this little flower, this little leaf is not that big. So we're just going to add a little bit of depth and dimension to the flower. So we're just going to do the edges, and that might be a little bit much, but that's okay. So we're going to leave that there. This is what I wish I had my sponge daubers, but I haven't used my sponge daubers in so long that they're all dried out, and I need to get some more. So, oh well. And let's see, let's go with the red, because I already have, where did my little red one go? Oh, here it is. All right, so I'm going to use the Cherry Cobbler. Move these guys out of the way. And let's move this out of the way so we don't get anything on it. All right, so we're just going to tap and just do some blending. Not much, but we just want to add a little bit of color on the ends so that it kind of stands out when we put this together. So Cherry Cobbler will help offset the red. See how that looks? Can you see that? Okay, so we're going to lay that one over there, and then we've got this big guy here. I think this is a maple leaf, right? At least I think it is. I don't know. All right, so this one will have, this one's going to really show the color because it's a bigger leaf. And I'm just going to try to do the edges. I might do a little bit on the side. And we'll do some down here. Not that that's going to be seen. All right, so we're just adding a little bit of color there. We'll put this off to the side. And let's see, where did we already did that one? Put that over there. And then we'll do some Old Olive. So we're going to do a little bit of Old Olive on this guy. Isn't this cute? I just love this. This is, I mean, the only time consuming thing, but I was able to cut several of these at a time, you know, out at one time. And I was using the little mini. So that's going to help give it some dimension. And then I'm going to clean that or wipe it off on my piece of paper. What did I do with it? Hang on. Oh, here we go. We'll just use this piece because I'm going to use this for the next color. So I'll just wipe off as much as I can of the Old Olive. All right, and then we're going to pull in the garden green, and we're going to do that on these leaves right here. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I'm back. I tell you, I missed not stamping. I missed not interacting. And the sad thing was half of my friends that I wanted to see were all out of town. It made me so mad. I was so, ugh. But I went to dinner with about 4, my best friend, and then 3 other people that I had worked with and became really good friends with. And so, I mean, it was fun. We had a nice time, and the wedding was just wonderful. And I got to hang out with my friend, the bride's mama. We've known each other. Well, actually, I was with at the time. Well, she ended up anyways. 30 years ago, I've known her mom at least 30 years, if not longer, because I was at when Emily was born. So part of the family. All right, and then the next thing we'll do is, I guess I gotta do Cajun Craze. Do I want this? I guess I'll use this one. Why not? And then we'll do, we've got one more to do. So this is Cajun Craze. So we're just gonna add a little bit of that to the pumpkin. Look at that. See how much that just kind of adds to it? See those? Isn't that pretty? All right, and then we've got one more to do. That's where we're going to use the copper clay, because that's the color cardstock. And I think I'm going to wipe this one off too. I probably, I'll wash these out, get most of this off, but it's in the same Cajun Craze, copper clay. It's okay. So, all right, copper clay. And then we're going to do a little bit of this. Again, we'll just do the edges, try to give it a little bit of color and some depth to it. And I'm not sure. We're going to do the ends because I can't remember how this. No, I think this side's going to be seen. That's fine. All right. So there we go. There's all of our pieces that we needed to color. And then we're going to start building. So let me move my things out of the way. My sponge blending brushes so I don't get ink all over everywhere. I'll rinse those out when we get done. I rinse mine out. Some people don't, but I do. It tends to help. Okay, so we're going to take our little piece right here that we've got, and I'm going to just start playing with it. Now the next thing I know, that's what I want to do. Hold on a second. So I need to get a piece of, I'm going to get a piece of, what am I cutting here? Hang on. Yeah, I want to stamp the sentiment. Okay, so we're going to do this. I'm going to stamp the sentiment on a scrap, and then I'm going to fussy cut it out, and I'm going to stamp that in, I'm not sure why I have early espresso out here, but we're going to stamp it in copper. Or do I want to do, now let's do the copper, because that goes with the ribbon. So we are going to use the stamp. We're going to use the same autumn sentiment, but we're not going to stamp it on that. I'm going to stamp it on here, and then I'm going to attach that to that after I do some fussy cutting, okay? All right. Okay, so let me just do that real quick and get that out of the way. And I'm only going to cut a round part of it. I'm not going to go all, whoopsie. I'm not going to go all the way around. I'm just going to make sure that this side here is kind of showing where it is going around just a little bit. And I'll just start twisting my paper. And this one I'm just going to not be too fancy. And just do that. I'm going to cut that off because that's in my way. And I'll just come here. We'll go up a little bit. And I'll just keep turning my paper. And then this side, I just want to try to come up just a little bit. There. And then here is where I want to come around, and we're going to come up here, and then I'm going to go, oops, sorry, I'm going to go right here, and then I'm just going to come up straight up, and then I'm going to come over here and kind of trim that off just a little. Okay. All right, so we've done that, and then let me move these out of the way. All right, so this is going to get, we're going to attach this to the die cut. This comes out of the dies as well with some dimensionals. But for right now, I want to kind of get an idea of how I'm going to lay my things down. I'm just going to glue these down. We're going to do flat. So I'm just going to start building my thing, my card here. So we're going to put the red, and then we'll do our pumpkin there. And then once I get it the way I want it, then I'll start gluing everybody down. And I want this guy to kind of poke out. So I'm going to put him underneath. And you're not going to see this, so it really doesn't matter, right? Because that's where our sentiment's going to be. So I'm going to push him down because I don't want him hanging over the card, but I think we'll be fine. And then this guy, see, this guy we want to put in. So he's going to go under here, right? And we're going to have him over top of the things. And then this one will pop in right there. And then the green will, okay, we've got it. And these two guys will go. All right, so that's what we're going to do. Got it? So I'm going to lay these down. I'm going to start doing some gluing. I'm going to leave a little bit of room around the edges so I can tuck a few pieces in. So we'll just do like that. So that way, if I want to tuck something underneath of it, I'll have some room to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to place him right about there. Okay, and then this guy, we're going to glue, put him on top, right at the bottom. All right. And don't forget, I made this announcement earlier. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter, I'm doing a 12 Weeks of Christmas, which starts tomorrow at, goes out at 1 o'clock. So if you're interested, message me and I'll send you the link because I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. We'll, actually, let me do this one. And we'll get you signed up every Wednesday. I send out a holiday tutorial. And we'll have cards, bags, tags, gift ideas, and all that fun stuff. And also, I meant to show, I'll have to take a picture. We have a new Hanukkah stamp, the one that they came out with, but it wasn't right, so it had to go back because they had the information in there was not correct. So they Stampin' Up! Pulled it, and then they redid the actual stamp set itself. Oops, I want this under. Let me put him under here. Hang on. They actually did the stamp set itself. So we do have a Hanukkah stamp. I think it's on back order. Let me put this, I'm going to put this right here because I think it's going to be hidden. Let me make sure. Hang on. Yeah, I think it will. All right, I'm going to put him in a little bit closer, and I'm going to put him down there. Oh, I'm glad you're a fall person. Pardon me. Okay, then this is that the copper. So we're going to add some adhesive here. And it's really however you want to, however you want to put your flowers. I mean, these leaves, right? It really doesn't matter. But we're just going to, we're going to be tucking. So I'm trying not to put a little glue here because I want it to have a little bit of lift to it, All right, and then this piece I'm going to put under, and then the other two I'm going to put on top of the sentiment. So this one I'm going to tuck under, actually, yeah, I want to put it under here. So I'm going to lift this guy up and I tuck it right about like that, because I think, whoopsie, this part is going to be hidden, so I think that will look fine. I could tuck it back a little bit more, but it's okay. Let me lift this one up. We'll put a little bit under there. All right, we'll go like that. Okay, now, so let's go ahead. We're going to put some dimensionals on the center, on the piece that I just stamped. So we'll put two, well, the ones I just cut out actually. All right, and then we're going to put that on the little rectangle that is die cut from that stamp set. So we're going to put that right there. And then this is going to get popped up on dimensionals as well. So let's grab, I've got two right here. So let's do, I'm thinking we can be okay with two. I think we should be fine as far as balance. Okay. So then we're going to go ahead and attach this, and then I'm going to put, I've got this one red one and the yellow one, and I'm going to tuck those under so they're kind of on top. So I'm going to put this right about here, and let me see, I'm going to come up a little bit and come over. All right, so let's do that. And then this little guy, we're going to put some adhesive on him, but we're going to tuck him underneath. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there. I'm going to tuck him right under here. Oh, perfect. I didn't make a mess with the glue and the dimensional. All right, so he's going to go there. And then this little guy, we're going to put him on the other side, the yellow, or daffodil, I should say. And then we're going to just tuck him, actually, probably, hang on a second. Let me put a little bit right here. And I'm going to take some of that adhesive off. And I'm going to put this one probably right here, so it kind of looks like it's not lonely. And we put that spot right there. And what I should have done, probably glued this. I should have glued this onto the card base first before I started building, but that's okay. We'll get it. All right, so isn't that pretty? So now we've got to flip it over, which is fine. And we're gonna just gonna use my liquid glue. We'll put some on our ribbon. Make sure that adheres. I should be using, probably since it's embossed, the Stamp and Seal, but that's okay. It'll work. We'll just put some heavy glue, heavy adhesive. All right, and we're gonna set that on here. And we're just gonna have a small amount of the early espresso showing. Right, just like that. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that pretty? I just love that. And there you go. There's our card. Isn't that beautiful? So easy. I mean, it really is easy. And I tell you what, I really find stamping is relaxing. Okay, so here are the cards that we made. I'm going to pull in the one that we did with the smaller strips and the envelope that matches. So here you go, and then here is our other card. Oh wait, I'm not done. I forgot. Oh, I did put my stuff on there. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta add something on here. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. I forgot I gotta put my little dots on here. Forgot. I'm gonna put a little red. And these matte decorative dots. These may be retired for all I know, but we're gonna use it. And I know this is a different color, but to me, it's gonna be close enough that no one's going to know the difference. So I'm just going to put a dot there. Oh, and I put some green ones. So let's do one of these little green, and it doesn't have to be the exact color, right? Whoops, it's going to stick to me. Hang on, don't go nowhere because I forgot to put the green on here. And we'll do a medium size. We'll put that over here, and then we'll do a little darker. We might as well do a little darker one. Why not? And let's do that. Let's do it like that. Okay, there we go. Now it's finished. Okay, so there's that one. Isn't that pretty? These are just gorgeous cards. I am just really pleased with myself. All right, you guys, there you go. We are done for the evening, and it is 8:03. Can you believe that? I'm actually on time. So thank you guys for coming and watching. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to always decorate the insides of your cards like we did here and like we did here. Now, we did not do this one, but that's okay. All right. So thank you, everyone. I greatly appreciate it. I will not be here next Tuesday because we have a musical event to go to, but I will try to do a recording. And Thursday of this week is our Technique Thursday at 12 o'clock, and that's going to be on our Stampin' the VIP group, and also I'll stream it to YouTube, and we're going to be doing Northern Lights. So that's going to be a lot of blending, so join me Thursday afternoon, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And other than that, have a great week, and I'll see you guys again on Tuesday. All right, bye now.